coming from a Caribbean background, immigrant parent, she only knew what she knew. She knew work hard, you get a job, you pay the bills, you take care of the family. It was September 1st. My mom was like kind of sick. Said good night, didn't say good morning. I woke up the next morning, and normally I would check on my mom around 10 o'clock. I like to let her sleep in, but for some reason, something said check on your mom. As I was walking to go to the bathroom, I could see like her door was open a little bit, pushed open the door, and I found my mom's lifeless body in the bathroom. And I'm like, so work hard for the things, but none of it mattered.
After this life, there's an afterlife, and that's what really matters. That's where we're gonna be spending eternity. It was at night.
Spoken about
no,
it.
I've never spoken about it. It was at nighttime as well. My bedroom was upstairs. Like my bedroom was on the top floor. My mom's master bedroom was like the floor below, and it was just like in the middle of the night. And then I heard her snoring.
Everybody grieves differently. Everybody has their own process of how they grieve and how they handle things. And for me, I became a workaholic. Or a healthy person has many goals. A sick person has one goal, and that's to be healthy.
Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of From All Sides with your girl, your host, Crystal C. Rose. And today we have a great guest. I'm so excited for this guest. My friend, he's not just an industry friend, but he's my friend, my actual friend, We actually talk and things outside of the industry. So we have on with me today, Mr. Ryan Rosery, and he is a Canadian actor on the rise. And let me just break a little bit about his bio. So he recently starred as Chad in the Netflix new horror film, Fear Street. I know we got some Fear Street fans out there. Fear Street Prom Queen, which is the most recent one. So he was born and raised in Scarborough, Ontario. And Ryan, developed his passion for performance at a young age. He has landed roles on the popular TV shows such as Mayor of Kingstown and Riverdale, and he even appeared in the CW's Batwoman. And more local Canadian productions like Morningside and It Comes in Wave, which is going to come out pretty soon. I'm excited for that one. That trailer looked good. So in addition to acting, Ryan has shown entrepreneurial spirit as a co-founder of BDB Productions, a production company he started with his industry friends, basically just to create their own opportunities. So his journey to success, however, if it's not overnight. It was a process, and we'll get into that. He was raised by his mother in a Caribbean immigrant household, and in his early age, he faced some heartbreaks and hardships, which has shaped who he has become today as a artist. One thing which we'll talk about that. Notably, he lost his mother in 2021, and he has openly discussed how navigating that grief has reshaped his perspective on life and art. And in recent years, he's also spoken about growing stronger into his Christian faith, crediting it for helping him to find his purpose and resilience. So Ryan's story is one of perseverance, from Scarborough to Netflix to the big screens, and he brings his charismatic energy, and we're going to just talk to him today. So welcome. I need everybody in the audience to give a warm welcome to Mr. Ryan Rosery.
First off, it's so weird as a podcast host myself to be sitting in this seat, because this is the first podcast that I've done live and that I'm not interviewing somebody.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So this is
really?
Yeah. I've never done a podcast where live. I've done on the internet on Zoom and whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
But live, this is my first one ever. So congratulations, you've taken that.
I feel blessed.
You feel very blessed. And it's just nice hearing my bio be read back to me because I'm always doing people's bios. So thank you for that.
And it's a beautiful bio. You've done a lot.
I have.
You've done a lot, and I'm happy to have you here.
You do forget how much you've done.
Yeah.
You do, and like you hear things, you're like, oh yeah, and then like how much you've been through in life as well. So thank you for that. I appreciate
How you
it.
feeling though?
I'm great.
Yeah.
I'm great. Yeah. I'm a little like tired because I went out last night with my nephew, but aside from that, I'm feeling great.
Because we're in the midst of TIFF. When you guys watch this, we're in the midst of like wrapping up TIFF season. Have you attended any TIFF events this year?
Yeah, I've actually gone to a few parties, and I saw a couple of films. I saw a short film yesterday. A friend of mine that was part of the CFC program that I was in, she's a producer, and her short film was part of the same short film program that Idris Elba's short film was in. So I was like, okay, I gotta go see that.
Okay, and how was that, Idris Elba's short film?
Idris Elba's was really good. His was the closer for the festival, for the shorts program. There was like, I think 5 or 6 of them, and his was the last one, and it was a beautiful film that he shot in Lagos. Got like black actors, a lot of his culture was in it, and the story was just beautiful.
Isn't he Ghanaian though?
Is he?
Is Idris Elba Ghanaian?
I thought he was Nigerian.
I don't know. I thought he was Ghanaian.
Okay, well either way.
Because I thought he was creating a production company in Ghana, but I don't know. He could be Nigerian, but I thought he was Ghanaian.
This whole entire time I thought he was Nigerian.
Maybe you could be right. But okay, but let's go back to the beginning. So we know you're an actor, you're a filmmaker, you do all the things. But let's talk about you as Ryan, like in the beginning. Like how was it like growing up as Ryan Rosery? Like how was your childhood? Were you the child that entertains your friends and family, or like what was it like growing up as Ryan?
Yeah, it's so growing up as Ryan, I was born in the year. Actually, no, I'm not gonna say what year I was born. I'm gonna
tell us.
Okay, I was born in the year 1991.
1991. Okay.
So, or some people would say 1991.
1991.
Yes. And I've always, from my earliest memory, I've always been just like a very big personality. So one of the earliest memories that I have, my mom bought a carton of eggs. It was like on sale. She bought a bunch of them, and I broke them all on the floor in the kitchen.
All at once.
I just took them and threw them all down, and then I was swimming in them. And I was singing the song, swimming, swimming in my swimming pool. When days are hot, when days are cold, in my swimming pool. And my sister walks by, and she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, look, Amanda, I'm swimming. And I was continued singing the song.
How old were you?
Probably like 2 or 3.
Okay.
That's like my earliest memory. So that's the type of stuff that I would do. Whenever people would come by the house, it's a little embarrassing, but I would put underwear on top of my head, like briefs. So I'd put it on my head. I would tie a towel around my neck. I would put a plastic bag over my feet. I would put socks on my hands. I would run around the house like a superhero. But guys, I'm a superhero. Like I was always doing things to be funny, to be an entertainer, to make people smile and laugh and just have a good time. And I've just always been a goofy guy. So.
I know you're getting into the conversation and it's great so far, but I want to make sure that you have tuned into all the conversations with all my guests. So are you subscribed yet? Because if you're not, honey, we gonna have a problem. I need you to hit that subscribe button. It's right below. It literally costs you nothing. Just boop, and you're good. And we'll keep going. And I know you're loving the content. So hit the subscribe. Make sure you're following us on Instagram and TikTok and all the things. All right? Okay. Let's go back. It's funny that you talk about the superhero part, because I know, just speaking to you, that one of your dreams is to play a superhero or like a supervillain or something like that, like with a Marvel, or does it have to be
honestly
Marvel?
I'm open to all the things as long as I get the opportunity to play a superhero.
Although
funnily enough, so I may not necessarily be playing a superhero on screen, but I do kids' birthday parties and I dress up like superheroes. So I dress up like Spider-Man, Black Panther, and the Miles Morales Spider-Man.
Interesting.
Who's the Black Spider-Man for people that don't know. And to these kids, you are a superhero.
100%.
To them, like, you are the biggest thing. You're like a big celebrity to them. I remember I did this one party at a school, and I was dressed up as Spider-Man that day, and all the kids were like, oh my gosh, Spider-Man, oh my gosh, Spider-Man. And I felt like a star to these kids. And it was the most beautiful thing, because I want to, like, realistically, I wanted to become a superhero on screen because, one, I love doing action scenes and I love action movies, but two, it's for the kids. It's to inspire them. It's to, like, I want to be able to go to, like, sick kids hospital and inspire them as a big superhero, but in the meantime, I get to do these kids' birthday parties, and yeah, it's a lot of fun just doing that.
I love that. So you grew up in a Caribbean household. Your background's Caribbean.
St. Lucian.
St. Lucian. See, thank you. 'Cause I was gonna say I know it's
more,
not Jamaican.
Guys, there's more than one. There's more than just Jamaica. Okay?
Are we sure about that?
There's more than Jamaica.
Are we sure about that?
Barbados.
Are we sure about
There
that?
is St. Lucia, St. Vincent. Okay, so let's just.
I mean, my producer, she's not Jamaican. She's, what are you? She's
Grenadian,
Grenadian.
see? Okay, Grenada. All right, so let's just remember, Jamaica's not the only one. Y'all are the loudest. I'll give it to you.
We the loudest. Yes, we the proudest. Yes, we the big steppers.
Sure.
Okay? But okay, let's not start a Caribbean war. St. Lucia, I heard, is beautiful.
Very beautiful.
I heard it's beautiful. That's one place I really want to go. Same with Grenada, the island of spice. I really want to go to those places. Okay, but a lot of us in the Caribbean, our parents kind of had the same mindset, especially when it comes to like careers and what they want you to be growing up and all that stuff. So growing up in a Caribbean household, or, with that Caribbean background, and when you decided that this was the path you wanted to take, did you have that conversation with your mom, and how did she take it? Or
Yeah, there was a lot of pushback. There definitely was a lot of pushback because coming from a Caribbean background, immigrant parent, she only knew what she knew. She knew you work hard, you get a job, you pay the bills, you take care of the family. Yeah. So for her, it was like, go to school, be a doctor, become a lawyer, become a teacher, become a therapist. Like, very, what's the word? I guess traditional type of jobs. And so when I told her I wanted to get into acting, she was very against it. She was no, that's not a real job, and you're not gonna make money doing that, and like there's no way you're gonna ever succeed, because she didn't know. She only knew what she knew. And I would be like, Mom, I want to try to go to this audition. Like, can we try to find things? And she was like, no, because she also had her fears and her lack of knowledge of the industry. Yeah. So I totally get it. So yeah, I faced a lot of pushback.
So how did you overcome that, or did she eventually come around to see, like, okay, you know what, I could see where Ryan was going with this, or did, like... Yeah. So when I finally started getting into the industry, so I officially got into the industry, I was about 16, 17. And I would start off doing background in film and TV. And then from doing background, I got an agent. And she was very like, nah, you're not, like, things aren't happening. Like, we have bills to pay. We need things to do. We got money need to be made. And it was just me and my mom. My sister had moved out. She was already married at this point. Okay. So literally it was me and my mom going through the entirety of it. And the struggle of trying to prove to her was like the reason why I kept doing it, because I'm like, I'm going to prove to this woman. I'm going to prove to this woman. I'm going to get us out the hood. I'm going to change her life. I'm going to buy her the house that she wants. I'm going to get her all the things. I just got to stay committed. I just got to stay on the grind. And then eventually, when I pretty much moved to Vancouver, that's when she started really opening up more, because she started to see me on projects, and she started to see that I was making a living doing it, and was able to survive a little bit off of it, and would send money back for her. And she's like, oh, okay. And then she would see me on commercials, and then she would be like, oh my gosh, there's my son. Yeah. So I would say probably took about like 20-ish years for her to really. Wow.
Yeah. I started like a teenager, right? No, less than 20, like 15, so like 15-ish years.
Yeah.
14-ish years, around that, yeah.
But I feel like that's like the story of a lot of us that have immigrant parents, is that always trying to push and convince them that no, not everyone is born to be a doctor or engineer or whatever. Some of us are creatives, and we're trying to just follow our passion, and that's always the big contention with a lot of Caribbean households. Fortunately, with my mom, like, she was always supportive, but she said, you need to do something else in university, just as like a backup plan. So she's kind of like, go to teacher's college. So I had to go to teacher's college as a backup plan, but she was always supportive. I think in her mind, she kind of always saw me in this industry. It's funny because that's why she actually named me my name, because when she was pregnant with me, she was reading a book called Daniel Steele's. Do you know the author Daniel Steele's?
No.
Well, it was some author called Daniel Steele's, and she's reading the book, and it was called Star, and the main character in the book's name was Crystal, and she was like becoming a actor or whatever. So my mom named me after her because I guess that's what she had always envisioned for me. So I guess when she saw me trying to go down that path, she was probably excited about it, but still, that's still same, like, okay, I see it, but like, just do something, just to fall back on,
Because money's gotta be made.
Money's gotta be made, and I don't blame them because this industry, this industry is a very fickle, up and down industry. You just don't know. You just really don't know, and it could take years before somebody pops off. If they pop off, and a lot of people, unfortunately, like quit before they reach that pop off. Yeah. But I read somewhere in a interview. I think you did an interview with like actors with issues or something.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, and you said that you recommitted to acting in high school after a heartbreak.
Oh man, why does everybody always find this story? Like, tell me now. Yes, yeah.
So please, what do you mean?
Okay, pretty much, there was this girl. I'm not gonna say her name, but I was like infatuated with. I'm pretty sure I was even in love with her at the time. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna be with this girl. Like, we would talk all the time on the phone, and people would see us in the hallways together, like, yo, you guys are so cute together. Ryan, you and so-and-so, or da-da-da-da-da, and like, you guys look great, and you guys look phenomenal. And so in my mind, I'm starting to form this narrative. I'm like, oh yeah, this is my wife. This is it. I even remember I would run across the street. So my high school, directly across the street from my high school was a mall. And I would go to the mall, and I would get this girl Chinese food on the regular. And she was like, oh my gosh, thank you for food. Like, I appreciate it so much. Would give me a kiss on the cheek in the hallway. I was like, oh, you guys are so cute. It was never my girl. Then this girl, one day, I'm like looking for her. I'm like, yo, have you all seen so-and-so? They're like, oh, she went with this guy. And I'm like, oh, okay, why'd she go with this guy? Come to find out that her and this guy were messing around.
Oh.
And people were like, yo, did you hear? So-and-so and so-and-so were messing around, and like people saw them and stuff. And I was like.
And you guys were known to be a couple in school?
We weren't even a couple, but people always saw me with this girl.
Okay.
People always saw me around her. So now I'm like, oh, that's what it is. And apparently she had like a dark past. And so she wanted people to protect them. And or protect her, I should say. And so these guys, they were known for like, they were mans,
Jock type of guys?
Not even jocks, like they were shooters, like pew, pew, pew. Like they knew people that were about that life. Okay. I am not about that life.
Nope.
In any way, shape, or form. I may have played a gangster on TV. I am not a gangster in any capacity, y'all. I am a I'm a pacifist, okay? I am a peaceful Christian loving man, all right?
Amen.
And so I was a little hurt. I was like, oh, say word, okay. And then this girl was avoiding me in the halls and stuff. But the guy came up to me. He's like, yo, I didn't know you and so-and-so were talking. Like, my bad, bro. I was like, no, it's all good. Like, love, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, she made her choice. And so as I'm sitting there in class and just, like, stewing on things, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna make this girl regret doing this to me. I'm gonna become famous. So a little bit more of a backstory. In the 4th grade, I was watching an episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And I remember Will Smith ran down the stairs and Uncle Phil was playing with baby Nikki in the crib. And when Will Smith ran down the stairs, he was like, earthquake, because Uncle Phil was like dancing, right? And then Uncle Phil looks at Will looks at Uncle Phil, and then Uncle Phil chases Will, and Will runs up the stairs. To me, that was the funniest thing in the world. I was like, yo, that's hilarious. I remember I was dying of laughter. And I turned to my mom, and I was like, Mom, I want to do what Will Smith does. Mom, I want to be an actor like Will. And I was like, shut up, that's not a job, go away. And I was like, oh, okay. But I always had that inside of me.
Yeah.
So then when that heartbreak happened, I was like, oh,
like ignited something in you.
I'm gonna become an actor. And that's what reignited the entirety of it. So that's pretty much the story of how I got into acting.
And do you still have connection with her at all? Does she still do you guys follow each other on social media at all?
I think she found my TikTok. I think it was her, and I think we have each other on Facebook. I don't know, but
because how's she gonna see? Well, I guess when you're on the big screen, she gonna be like, Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh, definitely. No,
him.
definitely. Like, I
I
mean,
remember
yeah.
snaked him back in high school.
But I think it's her. Because I saw like the name and I saw the
not
photo.
even that you don't even remember what she looks
No,
like.
no, I remember what she looks like, but like the photo is kind of blurry. So I'm like, is that her? I'm like, whatever, cool.
Whatever.
I'm here now because of her. Not because of her, but like.
She was a motivation.
She was a canon level event.
Okay, she was
for
that like.
For those that understand, will get that reference.
What's the term that? I can't remember the term. Let me not even try to embarrass myself. Okay, so that was your like push. Your push to
That's right.
Be like, all right, I'm gonna be an actor. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna prove you whatever type of thing. So you said you first started doing background work.
Correct, yeah.
So that's how you first got into it. And
yeah,
then,
I think my first background gig was a show back in the day called The Listener.
Okay.
And it was really cold outside. I'll never forget. It was so cold, and it was like my first time in background. It was winter time. I had no jacket, like no winter jacket. I had no winter boots. I'm standing in a puddle of slush. I'm supposed to pretend to be on the phone because someone got hit by a car or something. Yo, my feet were freezing. So yeah, that was my
background
first.
actors sometimes they go through some things.
They go through it. Yo, shout out to all the background actors out there. All you background performers, shout out to all of y'all, man.
No, for real, because they they go through some things, and I'm just like, I remember I had to do a background once for a commercial. And I was just like, never again.
Never again, huh?
Never again. No.
Listen, background saved my
but there
life
was.
a lot.
I'm not gonna lie though. A part of it was also ego.
Sure.
Because I auditioned for it.
For that same commercial?
For the same commercial, and I didn't get it, but they're like, "Oh, do you want to come and like just do the background instead?" And I was like, "Okay, sure," because it was like a big commercial, and I was like, "Okay, sure." And so I came and did the background, but in my back of my mind, I was like, "I should be, I should be there," you know?
I know that very well because I remember I was on this it was a high school show. I think it was called How to Be Indie. And I remember seeing one of the actors. It was like the scene pretty much was like we were all supposed to be in the hallway, and then we left the hallway, and then while we're off to the side, you see one of the main actors. He's like sneaking around. I don't know I don't understand the context of the scene, but while I was watching that, I was like, oh, I could do that. And I'm like, why am I doing background? And that was kind of like really what started to push me to want to be an actor. So sometimes ego can be it can be a nice little push.
But with this industry, it can humble you real quick. Because I think you also mentioned there was a period of time where you were not, but you didn't book at all. Like I think I read somewhere that you had like 4 years.
4 years
of nothing.
Nothing, quiet.
Wow. How did you, keep yourself from being discouraged and like not giving up and saying like, you know what, forget it. Like this is, because 4 years is a long time.
It is a very long time. I was very young back then too, and I look fairly young. So like a lot of the roles that I would audition for were older characters, but I would never get them because of how young I looked.
Right.
But what kept me going, truthfully, at the time was like, I need to become famous. I'm going to become famous. And it takes time to become famous. And through that period, I was able to grow. I was able to understand myself a lot more. I was able to just keep auditioning, and I had a job. I was able to work at my job, so I was at least making money. So that's kind of what kept me going. Yeah, but it was like the desire and the drive to like truly want to become famous at that time.
At that time.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. So I know, and like one thing I appreciate about you is you don't only just wait for opportunities to drop on your lap. You go out and you try to look for things. Like you mentioned, you started your podcast recently, and as I mentioned in the bio, you started a production company with a few of your friends, BDB Productions, one of them being Lavelle. You guys know Lavelle from Power. You guys all, I think it was like 5 of you guys.
There's a total of 7.
7 of you guys?
7, yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's myself, Adrian, Lavelle, Leighton, Brandon, Frank, and Emmanuel.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So 7 of you guys. So so you guys co-founded this together a couple of years ago.
Actually about a decade ago now, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got together in so we actually got together about a decade ago, around this time, around TIFF, but we formed the production company officially 2016.
Okay, so what drove you guys? Like, how did that conversation go? What was like, okay, let us 7 do a thing. How did that start?
So you want like the full lore?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah? Okay, all right. So I met Frank on a project I was in where it was about the Red Tail pilots, the all-black fighter pilots that were in World War II. It was a docudrama type thing. And Frank was one of the background actors on that. So Frank was the only person that knew how to drive stick. So Frank had to drive me in the scene. So like basically he's driving, he pulls up to the tent, I jump out the car, walk into the tent. So that's how Frank and I connected.
Okay.
We became friends from that, and I would run into Frank throughout life, like in the city. I would see him at the mall working and stuff like that. And then that's kind of just how our connection grew. And then it was TIFF 2015. Frank was out and about. And then that same year, if I'm not mistaken, no, 2014 is when I met Lavelle. So that year of TIFF, I'd constantly run into Lavelle and Frank. And Frank and Lavelle met each other, I think through background or something. So that was kind of us all the time. Adrian and I had known each other. We had the same agent, and that agent used to have these like meetings every couple of months in a basement of a library. So we would sit down and just talk. And my first time going to the meeting, Adrian sat beside me, so that's how Adrian and I connected. So then during that TIFF, I was like, yo, Adrian, come on out. So I brought Adrian out to his kind of first TIFF because the year before that, someone brought me around to TIFF stuff. So I was showing Adrian how to TIFF, because Adrian was the kind of guy like, I don't care for all this and blah, blah, blah. Like, I just want to focus on the work. But I was like, no, you got to get out. You got to meet people. You got to get yourself into the industry. Yeah. So it's all right, cool. So then that same year, we also all met Brandon at a monologue slam. And this was like the golden era of the monologue slam. Brandon was just there sitting by himself, and Brandon had no industry friends whatsoever. So then me, Frank, Brandon, Adrian, Lavelle would like go out to eat. And then Adrian brought Manny in because Manny was like, yo, I think I want to act. So that's how that happened. And then Leighton and Lavelle were best friends. So then we all just started hanging out. And then eventually we all found out we kind of had the same taste in like video games and in anime and in movies, and just like all love with each other. There was no egos. There was just like, yo, it's like we'd run into each other in auditions like, yo, how you doing, man? Like, oh my gosh, like, what are you saying? And then we'd just hang out, we would eat. So pretty much that in 2015, I created a group chat and put all of us in it, and then we would hang out that year. We would go to like Lavelle's house. We would play video games in his basement. We would go to Brandon's place. So we just connected from that. Yeah. And then pretty much we were like, yo, none of us are working the way we want to work. So why don't we create our own work? And that was kind of what sparked B2B Productions.
Okay. Yeah. I love that. I love that story. And it's usually, and I love that you guys were all friends and you just connected like in the industry, but it wasn't just industry stuff that brought you guys together. It was your love for, like you said, video games and anime and all that stuff. And I know you're a big anime fan.
Massive.
I know you're a huge anime fan. What got you into anime?
I think it was an episode of Mega Man. As a kid, I turned on the TV and I was like, what is this thing? So cool. And it was like, he was like blue in his armor. And I just remember watching, like I have a memory of it, just a clip. I don't even remember what was going on. But then I remember one day I came home from school and turned on YTV and Pokemon was on. And you see this, you know,
Big up on the 90s kids when YTV
Canadian programming at its finest.
Right?
And I remember seeing Ash with Pikachu and I'm like, what is this? Why is there a giant yellow mouse with red cheeks? What is this?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what really like ignited it for me. But then I would also watch Dragon Ball as a kid.
Okay, but wait. Because I remember back in elementary school, it was Dragon Ball versus Pokemon.
Sure.
No, was it Dragon Ball or Digimon versus Pokemon?
Oh, it was Digimon versus Pokemon, yes.
Okay, what side were you on?
I was a Pokemon guy.
Okay,
but I did watch Digimon, but I gravitated more towards Pokemon.
Okay, good. So you did the cards and everything?
I played Pokemon cards. I played Yu-Gi-Oh. I was locked in. And then because my best friend, Nathan, he lived behind, so my house was here. His house was directly behind my house. So I would walk over to his house, and his cousin was about 10 years older than us. So he put us onto all the anime stuff.
Yeah.
From the Pokemon cards to Yu-Gi-Oh. His cousin used to bring these magazines called Shonen Jump, which is basically what Dragon Ball is a part of, and like other animes are in it, like One Piece and Bleach and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I really got locked into anime. Yeah, I would get the Shonen Jumps.
Okay.
So yeah, I am a massive anime fan.
I want to shout out our studio space sponsor, 793 Studios, for this amazing studio space. We love you. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out. Like, I don't know if you know, I lived in Japan for a year.
Yes.
So
I'm so jealous, by the way.
Oh, Japan.
I'm so
Japan's
jealous.
The best place.
I've been trying to get to Japan for years, but go on.
Japan is the best place. Even though I lived in Japan, I'm still not 100%, like, can't 100% get into anime. I don't know what it is. If there's certain anime shows that I will watch, but I get it. I get why people love it. Like,
Listen,
I actually get
anime
it.
for everything. Literally for everything. You just got to find the one that you're like, oh, I resonate with this.
Yeah,
and it speaks to me.
Yeah.
And I get why people, like, some people don't get it. They think it's, like, cheesy or corny or whatever. But when you find one that hits, you're like, oh, this makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's go fast forward to, like, last year or 2 years ago when you booked Fear Street. Fear Street Prom Queen.
That was last year.
Yeah. Netflix, one of Netflix's, big staple movies. When you got that call, were you still in the CFC? By the way, the CFC is the Canadian Film Center where you did the acting program.
Yeah, 6 months intensive.
6 months intensive. Okay, so when you got that call that you booked it, like, what was it? How did you
I didn't
feel?
even know it was Fear Street in the beginning.
Oh, no.
Yeah, when I got the audition on a Wednesday, and I was supposed to go to work, and I was like, okay, I'll do the audition after. And it literally just said prom queen. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? It's a high school thing. It's okay. I'm like considering, should I shave for this? I had a beard at the time. Well, as you can see, I have my beard on my face now.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to shave my beard, but I'm like, maybe I should shave it. And I wasn't going to shave. So when I got the audition was due on the Thursday. No, I got the audition on a Tuesday. So I got the audition on a Tuesday, and it was due on the Thursday. And I was like, I don't want to shave. I'm like, should I shave? I don't know. And then it was like literally 2 lines. It was just, it was like, hey, have you guys seen Melissa? No, I don't know where she went. She went to get changed, and I haven't seen her since. That was pretty much it. 2 lines. And I'm like, okay, I don't really know how to play this. But it's a high school thing. Okay, I'll do it later. So I went to work, went to do my shift, came home, passed out immediately. It's like, all right, I guess I got to do it like now. So on the Wednesday, I was on the phone with some of my friends, and I'm like, guys, should I shave for this audition? They're like, yeah, I think you should. And it was Adrian Walters. He was like, yo, one thing my agent told me, it's hair, it will grow back.
Yeah.
I was like, man, and it takes 3 months for me to grow my beard. So I was like,
really?
Yeah, it takes me 3 months. So I shaved it, got rid of it, set up my camera, and then in the audition, I'm on a cell phone. And the movie takes place in 1988. There's no cell phones in 1988, at least no like iPhones, right? So I'm on a cell phone in the scene, and like, because it made sense for me in the moment for what I was doing in the opportunity, like what was happening, and I'm like, I feel like I would be trying to call her, and I can't, whatever, blah blah blah. So then, after I do the audition, I send it off. I'm like, all right, cool. My friend, who was the director's assistant, messages me and goes, did you know this movie takes place in 88? And I go, no, I had no context. All I had was prom queen, Chad, Chris Rock type, loves his girlfriend Melissa. That's all I had. And she's like, yeah, the movie takes place in 88. Why were you on your phone? I'm like, because I had no
contact.
Yeah. I had no idea what this was. And she goes, oh, okay, cool, not a problem. The director loved the tape. I was like, oh, okay, great. Left it alone. Thursday goes by. Friday now, I'm getting ready to go to work. I get an email from my agent. Hey, Ryan, you're pinned for this. You're shortlisted. Oh, okay, cool. Let the weekend go by. Monday, I'm getting ready to go to work again. I just go to grab some like food to make breakfast. My agent calls me and says, yeah, you booked the project. I'm sending you the details now. And then when I open the email, I see that it says Fear Street Prom Queen. And I was like, oh, it's Fear Street. And I have this thing where I feel like when you don't know what the project is and you don't really know who's attached to it,
it's almost better.
It is. I think it's better for me personally, because the minute I see like this project and this person's attached and da-da-da-da-da, I'm like, oh, and not even fear. It's like you start thinking, oh my gosh, I could potentially work with this person and that, and oh, it films here and blah, blah, blah. You start thinking too much versus just like go and do the job. Just do your job. Just act.
Yeah.
Who cares who's attached to the project? Who cares what's where it's filming. Who cares what network it's going to be on? Just do it. I didn't even know it was Netflix.
Yeah.
I just saw Prom Queen. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Even with Mayor of Kingstown, same deal. I did that audition in Vancouver, did the tape in the scene. I was like, okay, if I'm in the streets, I'm a hood man, he'd probably be rolling a spliff. So I was like rolling it in the scene, and that was it. And then found out Jeremy Renner was attached. And as a big Marvel guy, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I get to work with Jeremy Renner? Like, it's cool, you know? So I think it's better personally to have no idea. So when I got Fear Street, I was very excited. I called Kiana, who was the star of the first 3 Fear Streets on Netflix, and like shared that with her, and they congratulated me, her and Lavelle.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because I was going to say, I know you're also close with Kiana, and she did star in the first 3. Did she give you any advice? Did she?
Yeah, she said that the fandom is really big, so just be prepared to get a lot of fans. And like people like asking you about it or tagging you and a lot of stuff. And okay. And the fandom for this project was real.
Really big.
Yeah, they're very supportive.
Yeah.
Fans are very supportive.
I love that. I think it's always a performer's dream to get attached to one of those like cult classic type of things, you know, that already has like a built-in fan and audience base.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, so I'm happy for you that you booked that. That was so amazing. But switching gears a bit, let's go more, let's just personal. So we talked a little bit about in your intro, the bio, that your mom had passed away in, was it 2021?
2021, yeah.
And I apologize for that. You know, my mom also passed away. This year makes 10 years now that she's passed. So she passed away in 2015. My mom passed away. And I think we've talked a little bit about it, you know, just loss and grief and all that things. Are you able to just speak to a bit about like how that loss affected you personally in your growth, and even how it kind of switched your mindset as a performer, as an artist, and just as a man in general?
Yeah, it was very abrupt, my mom's passing. At the time, I had just finished working on Mayor of Kingstown in 2021, and I was getting ready to make my exodus back to Vancouver, and it was September 1st. My mom was like kind of sick. She was like, had a cold, and we weren't sure if it was COVID. So my sister and I were gonna go to the hospital and also get myself tested, test my mom. And I said goodnight, didn't say good morning. I woke up the next morning, and normally I would check on my mom around 10 o'clock. I like to let her sleep in. But for some reason, something said, check on your mom. And as I was walking to go to the bathroom, I could see like her door was open a little bit, pushed open the door, and I found my mom's lifeless body in the bathroom.
Wow.
And it's weird. It's weird and it's strange how quick it happens. You think it's like in the movies, you know, someone gets stabbed or they get shot and they have this big monologue, and, you know, they get to say goodbye to the people that are around them, or they're, you know, the families around the person in their sick bed, and you're like, oh, I get to say goodbye. Sometimes you don't get that.
Yeah.
You don't get that at all. And it definitely changed my perspective on life when it first happened. It made me realize that I'm gonna die one day. And I knew this, but pulling my mom's dead body out of the bathtub is like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. You know, I wished I had found her in her bed. Like I think that would have been a little bit easier for me. I say this because it's just like in the moment thinking about it, like really having to pull her out. And my mom was a heavy-set woman. She unfortunately put on a lot of weight during COVID, and so like I don't know where I found the strength, but to like literally pick up my mom with straight adrenaline, pick her up and like lay her down on the bathroom floor. And it was a small, very small bathroom. And so for me, that moment changed so much of like, I'm gonna die one day, someone's gonna find my body, I need to accomplish my goals. I need to accomplish things. And so I put a lot of pressure on myself in the beginning to do things and to like grind and make it and make something of myself and get myself out of the situation that I'm in into a better situation, because tomorrow isn't promised.
Yeah.
And I want to accomplish so many things. And that's kind of what happened. Like, I actually didn't even allow myself time to grieve. I was like, work mode. I buried myself in work. and trying to become a better actor and trying to become a stronger performer and a better writer and a better director and like all these things. And I went to therapy and I handled a lot of it, and I broke down with my therapist, and it was very cathartic. And during that time, I realized, man, things are gonna happen the way they're gonna happen. I still work hard towards things, but it's shifted the perspective for me of, I'm gonna die, do what I can, and don't put too much pressure on myself. Because when I die, none of this is coming with me.
Right.
Nothing matters.
Right.
If I have children, God willing, they're gonna be the ones eating all the money. You know what I mean?
Right.
I was reading in the Bible, was it Ecclesiastes? Yeah. Is it Ecclesiastes?
Maybe. What's the verse?
I think it's Ecclesiastes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Ecclesiastes. And he's basically going off being like, nothing matters. Like, you're going to work hard, and someone else is going to take it. And, like, none of this is new. We all have goals. We all have things that we want to accomplish. We all have things we want to achieve. None of it matters. But also work hard. And I'm like, so work hard for the things, but none of it matters. And when you really break it down, none of this matters, bro. None of this matters.
I don't know if I think maybe you're talking about the verse, lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, because like the earthly things will eventually pass away.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that you can't work hard here on earth and do the things. Obviously that's important, but a lot of people, we forget about after this life, there's an afterlife, and that's what really matters. That's where we're going to be spending eternity. So what we do in this life needs to position us to enter the afterlife with Jesus, you know? So, and we gotta make as much of a positive impact as possible. And it's so funny, not funny, but you know when people say it's so funny, but I don't mean it's funny. Like the story with how you found your mom is similar to how I found my mom. Yeah, like it was at night. No, I've never spoken about it. It was at nighttime as well. My bedroom was upstairs. Like my bedroom was on the top floor. My mom's master bedroom was like the floor below, and it was just like in the middle of the night. And then I heard her snoring like very loud. My mom doesn't normally snore, but I just heard some very like loud, aggressive snoring. I'm just like, this sounds very unusual. So then I woke up and I went downstairs, and then I saw her on the bathroom floor, and she was like doing that snoring, because I think she had a brain hemorrhage or aneurysm or whatever. So that's when I was just like, oh my God. I woke up my sister. We're like, call 911. 911 came, called my auntie, called my youth pastor. We're just like, oh, just saw my mom. She's like, I don't know what's going on. She's like not responding. And I think she had like even urinated herself. Sorry if this is graphic. Like, so like, I don't know. And it was also very sudden too, because literally just the night before, like I picked her up from work. She told me like, oh, she's like, I'm not feeling that well, but I'm like, I was able to get through the work, because I know she was having. This is so funny, and backtrack. This is why it's so important to be in touch with the Holy Spirit, because a couple months or like a month or so before, that's when I was in Japan, right? I was working in Japan, and my boss at the time asked me, they're like, oh, do you want to renew for another year? But I felt something. I was like, no, I don't think I need to renew. I think I need to come home. I wasn't sure why, but I was just like, no, I think I need to come home. So I came home It was the August of 2014. Came home August 2014, and then, spent some time with my mom, and I noticed like she was having a lot of like nosebleeds, but we weren't sure why. Apparently while I was gone in Japan, like she'd been in and out, like she'd been visiting the hospital, but they never told me while I was away. I guess to like keep me from worrying, whatever. Yeah. And then literally January of 2015, like a week after her birthday, is when she like had the brain aneurysm. So And I was just like, oh my gosh, thinking about it, back on it now, I'm just like, yeah, like God needed me to come home to spend those
Facts.
few months with her, because this was gonna happen. And yeah, it was crazy. I never spoke about how I found her, but yeah, that time was very, very crazy. And it just also showed me, like, you need to just care for your people, because nobody else is going to care for the people as much as you care for people. Because I even remember when we went to the hospital and they were checking her, and then they came back to us, and the doctor said it so nonchalantly, like I wanted to like punch him in the face. He was like, oh yeah, she's brain dead, so there's nothing we could do or whatever. And he just like walked away.
Do you know why they do that?
Why?
It's because they can't allow, like, they have to be very impartial. They do that with everybody. I know. It feels very inhumane, but that's like what they're told to do. They're told to be very impartial.
Yeah.
It's a crappy feeling, for sure.
I was so mad. Like, I was mad. But it's so crazy. Through the whole time, I never shed a tear once. Like, it was weird. Like, I never shed a tear. The only time I did cry was when we finally laid her to rest. Yeah. Like, that's when like everything came out.
Yeah.
But one thing I could say through that experience was, like, I prayed. I'm just like, I was like, God, I really need you to be like, show me as God, my Father. Like, I really need to feel your presence and peace right now, because like it was so hard. Like, it was such a hard experience.
Yeah. And
I would say sometimes when people go through tragedies in life, it either brings them closer to God or it can like turn them away from God. And I'm just so happy that it brought me closer to God, because I really got to see him as like my Father, like my comforter, which I really needed during that time. And just like all the people that gathered around to help us during that time.
That's kind of what happened with me. So, like you're saying, being in touch and in tune with the Holy Spirit, I know it was God that allowed me to be there for my mom, because I was living in Vancouver at the time. I had booked Mayor of Kingstown. I was only supposed to be in one episode. The director ended up making a decision to put me in all 8 out of the 10, or 9 out of the 10, whatever it was. 8 out of the 10, 9 out of the 10. And I got to enjoy that entire final summer with my mom.
Wow.
We got to talk a lot more. We got to resolve a lot of our issues that we had. We didn't talk about. We got actually closer towards the end of her life. And I remember when I had first returned back to do the filming, I was just looking at her and I'm like, man, my mom is getting older. And at the time she was 73. She had just turned 73 that year.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, man, my mom's getting older, and like I feel like I need to be there for her. So I was actually already starting to process for myself and think about, should I move back to Toronto? And so being there with her and just like being around her and taking care of her during her last few months and being a support for her was probably the best thing I could have done. And when she passed, I was like, okay, I'm glad I was here, because I kept imagining if I wasn't there, my mom probably would have been in the house for a couple of days, because my sister doesn't always check up on her. My sister also doesn't call her every single day. And just imagining being in Vancouver, finding out my mom passed and not being there, I would have been furious with myself. I would have been furious with the world. And I'm thankful that God gave me that last little bit
to spend with her.
Yeah, I'm really thankful. And my mom got this devotional book from January 1st till December 31st. She got it from my auntie. And I took it after my mom passed away. I took it, and I've been reading it every single day. And it's gotten me closer with God, and it makes me feel like I'm still connected to my mom. And I have that peace in my heart knowing, because my mom was a very, very pious woman. And I have that peace in my heart knowing that as long as I continue to accept Jesus into my life and follow him and go down the path that he wants us to go down, I will be able to see my mom again. So yeah, I cried when she got cremated. We didn't bury her, so she got cremated. And at the funeral, like, I was good. And then it was the minute I looked at her in the casket after the service, that's when I started to break down. And then when we put her to cremate, I started to feel it even more. And I always remember my mom would always say, when I die, I don't care, just wrap me in a towel or like a sheet and throw me in the ocean, because my body, this is just the flesh. It doesn't mean anything. My spirit's going to be with God, and I'm going to have a younger body. I'm going to be healthy. My mom was like a diabetic, high blood pressure, cholesterol, all the things. She had all the things. And I know she's dancing and laughing and at peace, you know?
Amen. Yes.
So I have that in my heart to know, like, I'll see her again.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And then, like, that's the beautiful thing. Like, as Christians, we know that death isn't the final thing, you know? As long as we die in Christ, we know that we're going to live with him forever and see all our loved ones again. And that's also what gives me peace and comfort as well, knowing that one day, you know, I'll see my mom again too. And I was gonna ask, like, was it your faith that helped you navigate that grieving period? And I know you also mentioned, like, also working really hard. Like, what was it that helped you navigate that grieving period?
Yeah, it was definitely the faith aspect of knowing that she's with the Lord. That really gave me that peace, like Jesus' perfect, ultimate love and peace. That really helped me. But yeah, I definitely was like, let me just dive into the work. And I just kept working and distracting myself. But I had to realize I couldn't just allow myself to work. I had to process. And everybody grieves differently. Everybody has their own process of how they grieve and how they handle things. And for me, I became a workaholic. And I still kind of am a workaholic, but I'm a workaholic within reason, you know, because I don't want to burn myself out, because without health
is real.
You know, without health, it doesn't.
You can't do anything.
There's a saying. A healthy man has many goals, or a healthy person has many goals. A sick person has one goal. It has to be healthy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you don't want to get to that point that you're unhealthy and your only thing is
to get back
just get back healthy. While you're working, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Sleep, drink water, eat healthy foods.
Yeah.
Fill your body with nutrients. Take vitamins. Do all the things. Take breaks as well. So don't just stare at screens all day. Don't just stare at your phone all day. Make sure you take breaks.
Amen.
Yeah,
No, for real.
you
Like, that's also something that I've really just been trying to remind myself as well, because obviously getting older, eventually I want to have kids and all that stuff. I want to be around long enough for my kids and my husband and all that. So I'm just trying as hard, because I'm a foodie. My husband, he will say, he's over there, he will say, oh, you love food, like, yeah, okay, whatever, like, food's good or whatever,
yeah,
whatever, it's great, like, it's okay, it's fine,
like,
it's good. But I'm also trying to be mindful of what I consume, you know?
Yeah.
Because, food is like, can either build you up or, like, literally break you down.
Yeah. Also, can we just talk about husband? What?
Oh,
she forgot the ring, y'all. She don't have the ring on. We were talking about. I said, Crystal, where the ring? But she got a husband. Shout outs to Crystal.
He's not even. Is he even paying
Nonchalant.
He's like, what's going on?
What's happening? Yeah, yo, congratulations on that, man. Well deserved.
Thank you.
You are going to be you're from our friendship. You've always been very caring and kind. So I can only imagine the things that you must be doing for him, and you'll be a great mom too. So when the time comes,
thank you. Oh, you're making me nervous, guys. You're making me nervous. It's making me shy. What? My husband's off to the side. He's like watching me. Yeah, thanks. That's another story for another day. But yeah, God's good in that department.
Maybe I'll get you to come on my pod and talk about that.
I can do that.
All right.
I could do that.
We'll lock it in.
Because that's definitely another testimony for another day. But yeah, just to kind of wrap it up, or in a sense, I know you also, not recently, but we've had conversations about you, like, growing in your faith and just, like, getting to a point in life where you're just like, yeah, I'm putting things in perspective now, and I'm realizing that I need to just take my faith more seriously. Was there something more recently that kind of made you realize that, or, like, what was it?
Last year, I went through heartbreak, and I lost some friendships at the same time. And through that, I was very lost and confused and wasn't sure what was going on. And I've always been a person of faith. Even when I wasn't as deep in my faith, I've still always had my faith. But after that had happened, the heartbreak and the loss of friendships, I just heard this small voice. It was like, just go to church. Just go to a church. And a year prior, I was walking through the neighborhood with Adrian. We were actually working on our lines for It Comes in Waves, which comes out sometime this year. I can't officially say when.
It looks good.
I can't say when. It's coming out this year. It's going to be dropping soon.
Is he doing a Toronto premiere?
I cannot say anything. But let's just say there will be some. You will be able to see something.
Bitch, I'm going to message you. I want to know all the details.
You will be able to see it. I can't fully say, but there will be something soon.
Okay. Make sure I get an invite, eh?
You will. You'll see.
Okay.
But while we were running our lines, we walked past the church. And the pastor was outside and was like, hey, he saw me and Adrian and said, hey, see you brothers in church on Sunday? And I was like, yeah, for sure. And just kind of kept moving. And that interaction, that small interaction reminded me, oh, there's a church up the street. You should go check it out. And I was like, okay. So I went to the church and I was like, if I don't feel it, I'm not going to come back or I'll just leave. And I went in and it was January 7th, 2024. And they were doing communion. And I don't just take communion at any church because you want to make sure that they're of the spirit, and you want to make sure you're not just taking on something.
Yeah.
And I remember I sat, so I didn't take part of communion, but I enjoyed the message, I enjoyed the service, and I was like, okay. So then I came back the following week, and I just kept going, and it was through that loss and that heartbreak that really made me realize when men and women fail you, when you are put to the side, when people neglect you, when people judge you, when people when people think badly about you, there's one person that will not think anything bad about you because he said, forgive them. They know not what they do. Yeah. And it is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Jesus is the best person.
We're going to put some church music in this segment on post.
Best person.
Some
best
organs.
Friend. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it was. And he forgives you for everything. Yeah. You could be a criminal. And not to say that you won't be punished. There's a consequence for every action we do, good and bad. There's a consequence. Yeah. And I had to deal with the consequences of my actions. But through it, and through the love of Christ, and through the love of God, and his forgiveness and his grace, I'm like so at peace. And that's kind of the thing that made me realize, like, what we do as actors is great and all, and like, it's nice to make money, and it's nice to have all these wonderful things, and to have people come up to you and, recognize you for your work, and just be seen. Yeah. For lack of a better word, and be seen. But I care to be seen by my Heavenly Father. Yeah. That's what matters most to me, and it's helped me also reduce a lot of the flesh ego that I have, and to just remind myself, it's not me, but it's God. Everything is God. Everything is through Christ.
I just want to shout out our furniture sponsor, I Am Jen Interiors. I love that. Can we clap for that response? That was a great response. Okay, let's do a quick fire rapid questions before we close, and then I'll ask you the last question. All right. Okay, so since you were, you're now a horror movie acting star, what horror movie, I don't know if you watch horror movies. I don't like horror movies, but I don't know, maybe you watch horror movies. What horror movie would you say scared you the most as a kid?
Scream.
Scream?
Yo, I'll tell you why, okay? I remember watching, I think it was Scream 2 with my sister. I think it's Scream 2. I just watched them all like a year and a half ago, and I'm like forgetting. I got to rewatch them again. But I'm pretty sure it's Scream 2. Guy gets shot, falls out the window, and then like they look and they see his body, and they run away, and they go back and look again, and his body's gone. And I'm like, yo, sis, what if there's a dude running around and he's like stabbing people? That used to freak me out. And the 90s, back then, it was different because we didn't have social media. And like when you're a kid, that stuff was scary.
It was real to you.
It was creepy, bro. So Scream. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was
Scream 2. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I watched Scream. Maybe.
Now I love Scream.
I mean, Scream now, I don't think it's scary. If you watch it now, it's odd.
Scream's not scary at all.
It's like funny.
It's very funny. It's like very slashery.
Yeah, yes.
There's a couple jump moments, but for the most part, no, it's not actually scary.
Yeah, it's not actually scary, yeah. Okay, so if you could guest star or star in any TV show, past or present, what would it be?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew you would say that.
And if okay, you know what? I'll give you a past one. That's the past one, Fresh Prince. Present one, I gotta be on One Piece, man.
One Piece.
I got to be on One Piece.
Yeah.
Netflix, please.
Netflix,
hit
Somebody
me up.
from Netflix
please.
watch this.
Please.
He wants to be on One Piece, okay? Make that happen. Okay. And what's your go-to karaoke song?
Michael Bublé, Everything.
Michael Bublé.
I love that song. It is such a beautiful song about a man that's just infatuated and like in love and adores a woman. And it's so wholesome.
Okay.
Oh my God, you're my everything. You're my getaway car. You're the line in the sand.
Vocals?
Chill.
Oh, yeah, vocals.
When I go too far. Yeah. Oh my God, I love that song.
Okay, I didn't know Ryan had vocals.
Yeah.
Ryan has a look of vocals.
Little
Okay. Okay, and what's one thing that might surprise people about you, like a talent that you have or something interesting?
I guess that I'm adopted.
Really?
Yeah.
Did I know this?
I don't know. Have we ever talked about it? So my mom wasn't my mom. Like
I think I did know this.
She didn't give birth to me.
I think I did know this.
She didn't give birth
yes.
to me. Yeah. She's my dad had an affair with a woman, and then I came to be, and that woman didn't keep me, and then my mom kept me as her son.
Oh
And
wow.
then she told me when I was 12 years old.
Oh wow. See.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to do a part 2 of that on your podcast. I
Yeah.
want to know how you felt when that happened.
Okay.
Okay. And so the last question, this question I ask all my guests, this is based off the Bible verse Matthew 5:14, which says, "I'm a city set upon a hill that cannot be hidden." That's the verse. So I ask, what is your 5:14 moment? Meaning, what is a time when your faith and creativity aligned and you felt that you were walking in your purpose that God has given you?
Probably booking Fear Street, because I remember I was going through a very, very tough time financially. I had like no money. My job at the time wasn't scheduling me. I didn't even have anything left in the savings because I was just coming out of school and out of the CFC, and I was like, man. And I remember I got down on my knees and I said, I remember being like, all right, God, you need to prove yourself right now because I'm drowning. You need to prove that you're the same God of Moses, you're the same God of Mary, you're the same God of Jacob, you're the same God of Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. You're the same God. I'm listing everybody in the Bible that they're just coming. I'm like, God, I need you. Right, I need you more than ever. I am drowning and I need to get out of this hole. And then the Fear Street audition came, and then I booked Fear Street, and I made the most money I've ever made on a project.
Wow.
And I was in like deep red, and I ended up in the green, and I was like, wow. Thank you, God. That was probably.
You see, God? Let's clap for God, guys. We love you, God.
You know, I want to say one more thing on that, because this year has been a tough year for me in the industry, and like we all get them. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm done. I don't think I can keep acting anymore. I think this is it. And I remember I was asleep just before I went to go to sleep. I had to go to work, and I had like a late shift. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just take a quick nap. And I said, God, if acting is not for me, remove the desire from my heart. Remove it from me right now. I went to sleep. I woke up. First thing I said is, thank you, God, for waking me up. And then right after, from my groin to the crown of my head, the fire was like, you love acting, keep acting, don't stop. Like I felt it. I was like, all right, guess I'm still doing it.
This is where God has placed you.
Yeah, so I'm here.
To be a light in this industry.
Yeah,
I love that. Shout out to our crew merch sponsor, God Can Print and Designs, for these t-shirts that you see I'm wearing right here. Thank you so much for coming and having this beautiful conversation with me today. Let the people know where they can find you if they want to follow along with your journey and whatever you have next coming up, if they just want to follow you.
You can follow me at Ryan Rosery on Instagram. I think I'm King Lord Rosery on TikTok and Twitter X. I'm also Ryan Rosery. Yeah, I'm pretty much on like all the things, I guess.
Your podcast?
Oh, yes, and my podcast. Listen to my podcast, Growing Through It with Ryan Rosery. You can get it on all the platforms. YouTube, we also have the visual component. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I love it. Love you, brother.
Love you too, girl. Love
All
you,
right.
sissy.
Yes. I'm so glad we're here. And yeah, guys, this is the episode, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure to check out Ryan on all his socials and his podcast. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Okay. Bye. Love y'all. Yay.